Okay.
Light the way.
The cavern transitions into just as claustrophobic sort of area, reminding you of the ruined sanctum that you ventured into only a few days back, with the designs on the, but rather the similar architecture of the floors. That being said, there's no etchings or carvings on the walls or ceilings. Looking in the stairwell and then peering around the corners, you see gargoyle statues.
Well, if they're just statues, they're probably going to be fine.
They
Do they appear like the gargoyles we have seen before?
No, you can attempt to scrutinize these statues, basically making like a awareness sort of skill check to see whether it actually is a living creature, using your wisdom modifier, your level, and then a relevant background like your prospector sort of thing.
Tempus will definitely want to.
I would argue that his magical background is more sensible for actually spotting if a gargoyle is a real gargoyle or not.
I will agree with that.
He's been looking at statues a whole lot as a shaper, and yeah.
I don't think I have a background, but I do have a high wisdom, so I'm gonna use it anyway.
Tempus' survivor, maybe?
Or no, Huron has no idea whether he's real or not.
Your survivor, I don't know. Sure, you could use that, I guess.
The other negotiation would be Scholar of the Forge, but I think that's more mechanical.
Maybe some of them are real.
Well.
You all think that these gargoyles are not animate. You poke and prod at it a few times. Gargoyles are very, very proficient from what you folks remember, like hiding. But you're staring at it right in plain sight. You like chip at it a little bit. You figure it will react to pain. They do nothing.
Oh well. Let's take a look at this way.
A great use for 20.
This here is a small corridor which turns down into a corner.
Right, very exciting. Let's take a look this way.
This appears to be a mazy sort of type area to the extent that it would actually take 2 move actions to traverse through here.
Alright then, and this over here
has another corner, but it also has 2 tables stacked with gears.
That's a useless room. Should never take that.
A dozen or so gears, some have rust on them, some gleam and shine brighter than others in the light that you have.
Tempus will definitely be keeping an eye on those.
We'll hopefully be able to stick around this place, Tempus. If this place doesn't disappear, this would be a brilliant place for us to hole up, to be honest. Could spend a long time with those books, and this seems like your kind of territory. We're going to help you some repair them of those. Let's go this way first, shall we? Peering about the corner.
Peering around the corner here reveals another sort of difficult to traverse through area, though not quite mazy-like. It would still take 2 move actions to walk through here.
Maybe the other path over here is easier.
Tempus will just as they're walking by, you may pick up a gear as he walks.
Okay, they do appear to be incredibly valuable and not like gears that Tempus has seen. Like, perhaps they could go in the machinery and the actual building here, all.
Just remember where you took it from.
This appears to be the most complex possible pathway, and it also takes 2 move actions.
Well, then it's probably the right one, right?
I like logic. Okay.
So,
I'll leave
well, it doesn't
One-
really matter. We have to check them all out anyway, I think.
which way do you want to go? I guess we just take this one then.
Just tap me and I'll lead the way, right?
Yep. Alright, sure.
This is a small passage which closes off in a stone monument, a shrine. Etched onto it are the words, "In Memoriam, the shapers who gave their lives in the ruins of Giroth." There is a list of names. There's 6 names. Then there's 6 empty spots. And then there's 4 names after those spots. There is also a small chisel laying on top of the shrine.
Alright, well, that's missing 1 then.
It appears to be, just judging by gaps, a total of 6 names that are missing.
Yeah,
Yep.
we need 2 more.
We need 1 more.
2 more.
I would very much like to the dear spirit that helped us in here on there too.
Ah, yeah, that's true. If it's not there. I'm not sure.
No.
It's not.
Alright.
Well, it seems like we should go find another one then.
Yes.
Just traverse our way through, trying to get.
Can I just like move myself
Sure.
over here instead of?
I assume you folks are taking the time. Reveals this.
All right. Let me just. 'Cause that to me that's a big red X. That's not very helpful.
A minor problem.
Well,
Gryph, you see it?
See what?
The room in front of you.
Yep. Okay.
all right. I will trust you to tell me what it is.
Get a peek around the corner.
Yep.
What do you see there?
Tempus will stare at this statue of 4 crouched things reaching over to the fire.
Yes. What you see there are 4 figures in obvious supplication around a ring of fire with a central figure there. The key thing about it is that this figure doesn't appear to be the one that's being worshipped. It's what the figure is holding in its hands, which I can reveal to you is this.
Whoa!
And Tempus, as you're the one who's seeing that, you can describe that.
Tempus is just frozen. He's like just locked in, trying to take in the full image. And it takes him it probably takes someone tapping him to snap him out of his daze.
Or like trying to look over him, like tapping what's there, Tempus.
It's clockwork mechanisms, and you can see him tilt his head and just staring, just amazed by the device. It's beautiful.
Giroth had lots of such things, yes. Be treasures of that kind in here.
I guess if you're pushing him, he's not going to resist, so he'll probably get pushed into the room.
We'll take a look as well.
Golden disc, what you could perhaps equate to a holy symbol that the figure in the center is brandishing.
Holy symbol?
This thing, like, here I'm thinking, could this be like maybe like a planar map or like a planetary movement device or like a calendar?
Dwohurim has no clue. He's never seen this before. Maybe it could be those things. But for all it appears to be right now, it's artwork. It's a golden disc that you would wear around, like a pendant around your neck. And there is an inscription which says, Rava, the gear goddess of fate and industry.
Looks to Tempus someone you've heard about before.
Tempus.
Nope! This is not someone Tempus has heard of before as a scholar of the Forge.
Has Leon heard of it as his time with the priestess?
Not someone Leon's heard of before in his time with the priestess.
Hurim as a shaper.
Fargus as a lone wanderer.
Yes,
Nope.
there's lots of industry in forest. Bears are keensmiths. All right. Well, is the fire burning? Yeah.
It appears to be artwork. This is all for like dramatic
Oh,
effect, or like just like a frieze, like statue type thing.
So could one take the symbol?
You could reach out and attempt to wrest it from the grasp of the central figure.
Hurim will reach out to touch it.
Okay.
Wrest it free.
Dwohurim puts his hands on it. I love like Fargus like and touches it. It is very cool to the touch on his calloused hands.
Scrutinizes it. It doesn't appear to be magical, does it?
No, this does not appear to be magical.
I feel this. I'm intrigued, but I don't think we should take it with us right now. So Tempus.
Tempus is just enamored by it, but he tells that it would be a bit wrong to desecrate a shrine. Well, I think it's a shrine.
To the southwest, Leon thinks he hears some movement.
Come on, let's put it back.
Southwest.
Yeah, so a bit of scraping. Somewhere if you'll like zoom out around this area.
Good layer gear here is an offering. You have some.
Fargus.
Yes.
There's someone's here.
Oh,
Near
guys.
the entrance we came in.
Still missing a name.
Tempus will hold on to the object for a bit and then put it back into the altar.
So go back here first, maybe.
Sure. We can just make our way for this.
Stop here.
Alright.
Yep.
That's basically yeah. You can go ahead and pencil in however the order that you guys were walking in.
Yeah, I guess like barely at the back.
I mean, Leon reacted to it first, so I... Yeah,
Yes,
I took that.
yes. As you will bumble into an ambush from, not from the creature that you heard, for no, that creature was too noisy. Instead, you will bumble into an ambush from this creature.
What the fuck?
That's creepy.
At first glance, this creature, which quickly rises from the shadows to strike, resembles an infernal being, but a closer look reveals whirring gears, cogs, and cables binding its joints together. The glowing crimson eyes and brimstone sense of this clockwork construct confirms its infernal nature. As you move right in front of it, and it very quickly on this surprise round of initiative reaches out and with its massive, like, glowing bits and pieces of fire within it, belches forth a mighty gout of flame directly into Leon's face, and misses. Leon is pulled back by Fargus just in time. The flame goes over Leon's head, completely sears the stone wall and ceiling. Just searing out. And if that had hit, well, you can see the mechanical effect. The flame dies down within the perhaps disappointed looking beast. And to the southwest, you can hear sounds of scraping as someone scurries forward. Now, you folks can roll for initiative.
Leon's bad roll was clearly because of how startled he was from having that.
I'm just feeling a blast of heat.
I think
Leon doesn't handle the heat too well.
Tempus hears something bad.
I think I'm gonna summon my fire elemental right in front of us, so he can take the damage.
Good thing I can attack over it, right?
Fargus, it is your turn, having just, like, barely witnessed, like, look out, and, like, pulling, like, Leon back as hard as you could.
Yep. And sort of trying to think fast, Fargus will summon his fire elemental to stand in the way of Fargus and Leon to take the fire damage from this thing.
Alright, you do just that.
And I haven't added like health and stuff to it, so I have to do that as well.
Right.
Also, gonna do a quick cast of something. Earth Strength might be good right now to handle this thing.
Might be.
Just saying. Yeah, sure. Earth Strength targeting Leon, because you can see the thing.
Woo!
And then one random nearby ally.
Yep.
So 1d2.
So one. Yep. Yeah, Dwohurim is.
Does environmental count? Could that be 1d3 then?
Yes, it would.
Does it target that one as well?
That's an ally
It's
for you,
ally.
isn't it?
I guess so.
I mean, if you want to rule that you're casting Earth Strength before the Elemental, that's fine with me.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Because. Yeah.
1, 2.
So...
There.
I'll get the juice.
Tempus.
Tempus.
What?
Alright.
You have
Earth Strength.
You have wisps circling around you.
You get +4 to your attack rolls and to your damage rolls until you end your turn staggered or until the end of the battle, Gryph.
Oh, okie dokie.
What kind of nature does Tempus, does Fargus feel close to in here?
Good
It's a magical dimensional realm.
The gods of
I
gears,
assume like
obviously.
caverns and
Yeah, caverns and dungeon area. Thankfully,
Yeah.
his powers are able to compensate, even in this very mysterious and wonky realm.
Let's see here, 33 hit points. 33. There we go.
And then the creature will take its full turn, I imagine, perhaps to attack the Clockwork Devil?
Yes.
Okay.
It will use its elemental wildfire.
Alright.
So, gonna have to check if I have done the macro correct. I did this just before
It's
we
fine,
started.
I have the page open to the elemental stuff anyway, so I can look.
Alright.
It does its whipping flames.
Yeah. Sorry about this.
It's fine. No worries.
There we go. And it's not 8 damage, it's... let's see. It's 14 damage. And... 7 ongoing.
You could just make the attack roll, then play with the macro.
Yeah, there we go.
That will manage to hit, and even manages to do full damage.
Alright, that's good. 14 fire damage and 7 ongoing.
Okay. Got it. Anything else with the turn?
1 step here.
Okay, as you move, Clockwork Surprise reaches out into a massive gout of, not like a gout, but like basically like a whip cord of like gears and metal, attempts to lash out at Fargus's face as he dives back behind the corner, but misses.
Alright. Yeah, good to know, I guess. Yeah, that ends my turn.
Okay. Well, this Clockwork Devil horribly missed with his wonderful surprise, and quite frankly is disappointed in himself. Whatever. So it will reach out and attempt to slam the fire elemental who so dares to get in its way, and rolls a 1!
Melee burn, I think, maybe.
Let's see here. When an enemy makes a natural odd melee attack roll against the fire elemental, the attacker takes 1d12 fire damage.
Yeah.
You will still have to make an attack roll for me, though, because I need to know whether the resistance triggers.
Oh, yeah. So...
So just roll 1d20.
Yeah.
Okay, that does manage to bypass its resistance. It will take the full damage of 1d12.
Alright.
Macro says 1d8.
Yeah, I know, I haven't changed it yet.
Okay,
Gotta change
take
it.
7 points of damage. Okay. So is that a disappointing turn of events for Team Monster. And it will take its 7 ongoing damage. And we'll go ahead and make a saving throw against that. It fails. Another one. And then you hear lots of movement coming in right through that narrow wall there to your south.
Fargus be on guard? Or Tempus be on guard?
Dwohurim, it's your turn.
Well, it sounds like there's something coming from the other side as well, and this is kind of clocked up. So I guess that would be like a move action to move here.
Sure.
Alright.
And as you do so, bursting through the walls where you once were is another like whip cord of like gears and acid slick metal, and so hot to the touch as it reaches out and attempts to grab you. It's just a miss. There are now
where is
21.
there are now pricks of holes in the wall where you once
you,
were.
like mark it somehow?
That is dangerous, it can burst through a wall.
So if I went like here, could I look through the holes?
Sure, sure.
Alright, well, you know, the
Other
logical
clockwork
thing
surprise.
to shoot at like all these fire thing is use cold. So let's try to use cold on it.
You get the
Alright.
luxury of choosing your damage.
one to blasting through.
That is a hit, and it does deal full damage to the creature.
Kind of shit damage though, but you know.
It's damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
He fires a ray of cold.
The abominable creature hisses. And it for your turn?
Yes. Yes, that'll be it.
Tempus, you're up.
Okay.
Tempus.
So I imagine to get here it takes 2 turns, or turn.
Basically, if you want to engage this thing, it's going to take you 2 move actions. Because it's just a pain in the ass to navigate through this, especially with, like, the rubble that's now in the way. Because, like, the fucking... You can make, like, a dexterity-based skill check to make it take 1 action if you want. If you want to, like, try to engage it straight up and still get an attack in.
And throw something at it, maybe?
I could throw something at it, but I quite like to
Still
get
have
them away.
the like, spider poison from the first session.
I don't know if these are susceptible to poison.
Maybe not. Who
Spider
knows?
poison? It's like a hell robot.
Okay. Can I try the dexterity check?
Sure, you could, and failure will result in all sorts of fun. 1d20 plus your level mod, plus your dex mod, plus Survivor of the Dwarven Games.
Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Let's try and see this be fun.
Yeah, you're a swashbuckler.
Oh, nope. It's all matters of fun in a Dwarf Fortress way.
We're gonna say that just due to the rubble, that DC would have been a 20, so no. Tempus basically fucking, like, he goes in his first move action, and he just, like, falls right there.
Boom!
You
stand up.
You've still got your standard action.
Throw a knife. Throw a knife.
Yeah.
We're gonna apply a -2 penalty to you attempting to throw a knife while you're lying on the ground.
1d20 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4 minus 2. To kind of because of the Earthshaker thing.
Yes.
Good plan, Tempus. I can shoot over your head.
I don't even get the knife out.
No, it's kind of wedged into the floor. Don't even deal miss damage. It's pretty good.
Okay,
You didn't see the recovery.
there's my turn.
Leon,
There
you're
wasn't a
up.
hole big enough.
Okay. Chaos Bolt. There's something right in front of me.
Okay. That does not deal full damage to the creature, but it does deal half damage to it.
I mean, I rolled a 3. There's not a lot I can do about that.
Okay. As the metal mostly absorbs the flame, but some dents do show within it. You want to do anything else with your turn?
Even stepping around the corner is going to get me attacked, so... Yeah. I guess I'm okay.
Escalation die goes up to 1. Fargus, your turn.
Alright. Am I technically engaged with this thing or not?
No, there's like a wall in the way.
Yeah. I figured as much, but it might have like slammed the wall when it tried to hit me before.
Don't give it ideas.
So, what do you have to fight giant metallic flaming robots?
I have Frost Touch and Spark.
Yeah, you could touch it, make it freeze.
Yeah, I do need to be engaged with it though, in order for it to deal
Yeah,
full
you have
damage.
to move close then.
Yeah.
There's not really any room for you to move it into engage with it, because of the fact that Leon's in the way, then your fire elemental's in the way.
You've got a conga line here.
Yeah. Well, I guess that you can just cast Ruination and target both of them.
Sure.
Yeah,
Blast
let's
way.
do that.
That does manage to hit.
Alright, 17 damage.
Okay, let me go ahead and damage them appropriately. That does that. Let's see here.
You should update the hit, by the way. It should be 46.
Let's see here. That staggers this clockwork devil, which, in its fit of rage and anger, causes it to breathe in again, and as a free action, unleashes this upon the fire elemental, and misses.
Yep. It also has resist fire, so it would have been fine anyways.
Yes,
Maybe.
it would have been fine. It still would have dealt half damage.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's not a full immunity, otherwise you couldn't do shit to these devils. Fire.
Yep.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn, Fargus?
No, I have the fire elemental as well.
No? Okay. You certainly do.
First of all, I will try the wildfire transformation.
Yes, you'll have to roll a 1 on a 1d10. No.
Nope. And then whipping flames.
Okay. That manages to hit and is enough to bypass its resistance.
Right.
And more ongoing.
Yep.
To a random nearby enemy. Technically, it's nearby.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
technically
that's
that's nearby.
Alright, so roll 1, 2.
Okay.
So
There's 2. It flies through the holes in the wall.
Yes.
I'm fond of the fire elemental.
I'm just saying,
It's an
you're already
outside.
on fire. I'm saying you're already on fire. Clockwork Devil is now even more on fire.
Okay.
I guess you could like overheat it.
This creature here attempt to slam the fire elemental again, because of course it does. So, and misses. That is a 2, so that's not an odd.
Alright.
It ends its turn, and this Clockwork Devil, as it already used 2 move actions to move through here, basically just barges through the wall and crams its body to loom right over Tempus. Be getting a +2 attack, courtesy of the fact that you are on the ground, as it opens its mouth and breathes out infernal breath upon Tempus. That is an 18 physical defense roll, which is still a miss.
You roll out the way. Stop, drop, and roll.
That's what Tempus is doing as the floor melts around him. Just like starts rolling.
Double.
No.
That is a Dwohurim, your turn.
Oh, I really kind of want to do something to it, but I don't want to stagger it.
Well, we're gonna have to at some point.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start by using my ability to heal. You know, take a quick action. I plan not to spend recovery doing this sort of thing, but
And also, as a note, it is storming outside, so if I suddenly vanish,
that is a full hit points recovery. All right, and then we'll do an empowered Ray of Frost.
okay.
This didn't go badly last time.
Oh, this will surely work. I mean, I hit it once. It's not immune to this stuff.
It's not immune.
No. Bam.
That
That's
is
a 20.
that is a hit, and that is a crit.
So that is
so
an empowered crit.
how much damage is that?
6.
That is 33. That is 66 damage.
Okay. Well, you prevented it from gaining its Infernal Breath reuse whenever it is staggered. However, the massive quantity of damage that you've dealt with it began rupturing it apart. When a Clockwork Devil is reduced to 0 hit points or below, it immediately makes 3 Infernal Breath attacks as 3 actions. As this thing
hell?
fucking explodes, we're gonna handle this against Dwohurim. 45 points of damage.
Yep, I take it.
That is a miss against Dwohurim, and then that is a total of 90 points of fire damage on Dwohurim.
I'm out. Oh, minus so much. So much.
57 minus 90.
Can I, yeah. I'm gonna be negative so much, guys.
Negative 33.
Tempus, can you feed him a potion?
I have potions.
In that case, since that's below your half, basically Dwohurim's out of this fight. And whenever you get him back up, he's going to have a.
I could. I guess I could use my dwarven after the first one.
Sure.
Scream! Is that all you got?
Yes.
And then he fires the second one in my face.
I didn't give you the time to do that, so if you want to go ahead and do that, that's fine with me.
Yeah, then I wouldn't be out of the battle. But then again, like,
He'll be floored.
I mean, I would basically be dead ordinarily, right?
Ordinarily, you would. These creatures aren't aiming to kill you, so this is not like a lethal situation. You would just basically you would have like a minus to like maximum hit
You know,
points.
I don't wanna. I don't need to, but I want to anyway. To
Okay,
use
so
recovery to
9
get
hit
just...
points, which would, I believe, take you to -24, which I think is good enough.
Yeah. He's not at his halfway mark yet.
Yep.
Close.
So he can be brought back in this battle, if needed. As the creature basically in front of, like, the fallen, like, prone Tempus who's, like, hugging his head, I know train, explodes into death.
Is that all you've got? I could take...
You know, I don't know if I want to kill this thing now.